Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video real quick about a couple of sabers that I've been working on for the past 5 or 6 months or so. I've got a Phoenix Props slash seven chambers Star Killer here with my first Proffieboard that I put into it. But the one that I had built first was this Saberforge Adaptive Saber Parts Dissident that I got from a guy on one of the Facebook groups. Got it for $100 shipped, so it was a pretty good deal. So this guy has got a 650 15 amp Orbtronic battery in it with a Prizm 5.5. This guy, I had to put a pencil next to it so it doesn't roll. Whatever. This guy I had to do a little bit of extra work to. I had to find a shop that actually had a lathe to mill the inside of the switch section out to about 1.13 or 1.4 inches to accommodate the 650 battery, or at least the holder, because this is actually this is a holder from Goth 3 Designs, and he measures it at 1.14 inches. So I had them lay the inside of this out just large enough to where it would snugly fit in there, along with the wire passage below the battery, which is where all these wires are feeding into. They're going to the bottom, and then they're routing down below into the switch section and up here. But yeah, this one was kind of a pain in the ass because I had to widen the inside of this with sandpaper and a Dremel tool. It took a lot of time and elbow grease and sweat. But eventually I got it to where it would, fit over the chassis and the battery and actually screw on here. This has got the single hole switch, but this has got a 5-way switch in there, but only 2 of them are wired up. The center push, and then the one that goes one of them, another one that's an angle, so up, down, left, and right. But I only have up wired up as well as the center push for activation. So you push it up to turn it on, and then you press the center button for the auxiliary. But yeah, that one took a long time, and the chassis is actually just glued with E6000 to the battery holder. And the reason that I wanted to do the 650 in here was obviously for longer run time, but I also wanted this to be able to accommodate my tri-strip blade in here, which has 3 35-35 strips in here, as opposed to just 2 standard 50-50 strips. And obviously that's going to consume more power than just the standard 2 or double 50-50 strip blades. So I wanted it to accommodate that, but also, the tri-strip blade is brighter. I made a video about that a while back, and it should still be up on my YouTube. You can look at that if you want to. So the other one is the Phoenix Prop 7 chambers Star Killer. This is probably my favorite saber that I've ever built. I've slowly fallen in love with the Star Killer hilts ever since I got into this hobby. I didn't really like it at first, but after I kept seeing people's renditions of it and the mods that people would do to theirs and make it their own, I slowly started to see what it could actually look like, and it's definitely my favorite hilt now. But this one's got a Proffieboard. This is from Frederick's 1.5 run. back, I think around this time last year, and I finally just got around to installing it into my Star Killer. I actually almost put it in this one, but I mean, I have two boards, but I wasn't really 100% certain with Proffie just yet because I've never installed one, and I really wanted to get this thing up and going, so I just decided to stick with the Prizm. Something else that I forgot to mention about this, I ended up drilling two grub screws in there, just 832 grub screws that I just very lightly tighten, just to hold the battery in there a bit better. And actually I got the chassis for this I got from Shamim on his Etsy page. This is the longest one that he sells, that I think it's just over 4 inches, maybe like 4.1 inches. It's meant for crystal focus. And I guess I measured a little bit, I guess I overmeasured slightly, because the end of the chassis where the speaker goes, this has also got a Saber Essentials 28 millimeter speaker in it as well. I forgot to mention that. It slightly sticks out, so I have to have the pommel slightly sticking out, which is not a problem. It actually looks, kind of neat, just slightly sticking out like that. And just to make sure it doesn't, make sure this doesn't give way while I have the cover on, I have a screw right here that I've tightened down, which tightens down over the speaker area to make sure that it doesn't move anywhere while this is on, so that this whole thing can't slide out, or this doesn't actually go anywhere. But it's pretty secure on there with the E6000, so, but it's just for safety measures. Anyways, so I had this weathered by the Proplicator. I forget his name. Tom Leach, and he posted a picture of one that he had weathered prior to mine, and I really liked it because he stained the steel emitter, so it's the blues sort of disappeared a little bit off the top, but you can still see that there's that orange to kind of purplish heat stain on there, since the emitter is steel, and steel will actually burn like that. And I really liked his weathering. He put a lot of really unique touches on it. I know the lighting isn't the best, so it's hard to see fully what it looks like. But, and I had him actually do the silver band on there, just to, I'm not really sure why. I think I just kind of liked how the silver looked as opposed to the copper, and just to get something a little bit different other than the copper band in my selection. But I actually did buy another one that I have on display that I just put the copper one on, but I didn't have it weathered, and it's just kind of sitting on my shelf. But this has got this has actually got his chassis in it as well, from the Proplicator. It's got a 21700 battery in there, and this battery is from KR Sabers. It's the LG 10 amp drain battery. So it's about the minimum spec battery that you can really get for a 2-strip blade, but I've had this thing on full white and it doesn't have a problem. Both of these are wired up with 22 gauge PTFE wiring for all of the power routing, and then just 30 gauge for everything else, like switches and accent LEDs and whatnot. And I sort of messed this up. The hilt comes with these two holes that are meant to hold your chassis in there, which I didn't realize that they weren't threaded prior to me installing the actually installing the saber with everything. So I tried to actually thread it out after I had actually installed everything, but I accidentally got a screw stuck in there, so I had to get some penetrating oil and cut the screw a little bit so I could get a flathead in there and turn it out. And I finally got it out, but I just decided just to glue it in there with a little bit of super glue, and now it's fairly snug in there, but I should be able to get it out in the event that I need to. Another thing is that the recharge port is, it's almost flush with the actual chassis itself, so putting the body over it might be a challenge. I think Dimitri has low profile 2.1 millimeter turn kill keys that you can buy, so I don't have to take it out every time, and I can actually just leave the body over this with the kill key in there. Hopefully it's short enough to where it'll fit, but I'm not 100% certain. I haven't actually bought them yet, so I still need to do that. So I just leave this off and with just a normal kill key in there for the time being, until I can actually get some of those and try it out. But yeah, I'm gonna turn both of these guys on real quick and let you see what they look like. If I can turn my damn light off. Okay, so pull the kill key out of here, out of the Dissident. And one thing that I did notice about the when I first got my Proffie up and going, how smooth the ignition and the retraction is compared to the Plecter Labs cards are. And it's not that Plecter is not smooth, but somehow Proffie, I guess his algorithm and the way that the LEDs turn on just looks a lot smoother. But I'll turn it on here and I'll let you guys look real quick. Well, yeah, the clash is a little bit sensitive without the handle on there. And I think this font is Fulcrum. I don't know, I think it's meant for Ahsoka's sabers, but I just really like the sound of it. Okay. Now let me turn the Proffie on. Not sure which one this one's on, but yeah, I mean, see how smooth it is? It is just night and day difference, and I have them set to about the same amount of time that they ignite. Here, I'll show you guys the other font that I have on here. In celebration of LGBT month. Oh, this one's Still a little sensitive without the handle on there. Need to adjust that one. But so yeah, those are the two sabers that I've been working on, and I'm fairly happy with them. The Star Killer, you know, has an exposed crystal chamber, and I put an LED in there, but unfortunately it came loose in the chamber, so it doesn't light up very well. Let's see if I can. Yeah, see, it still lights up, but it's pretty dim since it's just kind of getting the ambient lighting from the LED that I put in there, but it's just kind of in the lower chamber in here now, below where the crystal's mounted. So, but yeah, I'm fairly happy with these builds. I'll have a couple more. I still need to do my my Corbanth crossguard, which I'll probably put a proffie in, and Saber Royale is coming out with his Star Killer, which he was originally doing with Phoenix props, but I guess they had differing opinions on how they should go about it or what it should look like. So 7 Chambers ended up teaming up with Phoenix props to get this one, and now Britton Woolley, who is owner of Saber Royale, he is putting his out now, which actually I think actually looks a little better than the Phoenix props one, but I won't really know until I have it in my hands. I just really want a thin waist one, so that one's gonna look sick. I may actually buy 2, I'm not sure. But yeah, and actually I've got the Corbanth Star Killer as well that I need to do. So I've got quite a bit coming up. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any questions, just let me know.